Hey to Z, domain to genus here. Welcome to 11 Enlightenments. Salmon. Salmon are native to the northern Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, famously along the coasts of America, though they also live naturally in Europe, Japan, Russia, and they have been introduced to many other areas such as New Zealand and Patagonia. Of the 7 salmon species, only 7 are salmon, 6 are Pacific, and the last is the silver, the only salmon of the genus Salmo. Salmo just so happens to be Latin for salmon. The species name Sala, in Latin, means leaper, from which the word salmon is strung. Atlantic salmon are the largest of all salmon species, with an average length around 1.2 meters. A maximum length of reportedly around 1.7 meters, though 1.5 is listed on Wikipedia. The maximum weight is between 45 and 50 kilograms, roughly equal to a human at the age of 13 years, the Atlantic salmon's maximum age. The largest Pacific salmon, the Chinook, can reach roughly the same maximum length as their Atlantic counterpart, and weigh up to around 60 to 65 kilograms. They, however, only live for roughly 9 years. By this standard, they surpass the Atlantic salmon's growth rate in length by 44% and in mass by 90%. Salmon experience 2 seasons of growth a year, a rapid growth period which tends to align with summer, and a slower growth period near winter. The way to tell the age of a salmon, as with many fish, is to count the rings that surround a specific ear bone, the otolith. Rings may vary in how densely crowded they are, depending on whether the growth occurred in fresh or seawater. The most famous period during a salmon's life is surely when they return to what is normally their natal stream, to spawn a new generation. Journeys to these nurseries vary in length, but for some Chinook salmon, the trip is 1,400 kilometers long and 2.1 kilometers high. At the end of this journey, the salmon famously die, though some may survive to spawn the next year. This event feeds much fauna, as bears and other terrestrial creatures can easily feed without expending large amounts of energy, which is required to catch the salmon. Bears are arguably the most famous of salmon's predators. The image of them catching salmon as they leap up falls is iconic, yet the bears often do not eat the whole salmon. These carcasses, coupled with their feces, now nutrient-rich from the salmon, litter the surrounding forest floors, providing up to 24% of nitrogen for them, up to 500 meters away, and 4,000 kilograms per hectare, 10,000 square meters. Despite the odds salmon face, they have managed to overcome most any obstacle. They can smell the excrement of otters who've preyed on their kinfolk to avoid them, and they have practically shut down any operation of spirit bears at night. Upon reaching their natal streams, they may create a red by altering water pressure with their tail to lift gravel out of the way. A female then lays her eggs, and males will approach to fertilize them by producing milt, sperm. Male salmon undergo many changes upon reaching the natal streams. They may grow a hump on their back, or a curved jaw called a kype, or canine-like teeth. The kype's purpose remains a mystery, with suggestions of it ranging from a weapon to a safety measure or a method of hierarchical establishment. All salmon change colour though during the spawning season, generally to a shade of red. When hatched, young salmon are known as fry. They remain in this stage for nearly a year before becoming the striped parr. They remain this way for up to 3 years before they become the adolescent silver smolts. At this stage, they're ready to enter the oceans where they grow to be sexually mature. Those smolts which return after only 1 year in the ocean are known as grills. Young fry and parr live in fresh water, close to their red. where they hide amongst plant life and prey on aquatic insects. These shallow waters, however, make them easy prey for birds, and they can easily be carried off by a strong current. Because of this, salmon may fare better if they spawn near a beaver's dam. The dam stops strong currents and raises the water level. It also provides more hiding places for the young to hide from predators. This was first noticed in 1818 when a beaver cull in British Columbia inadvertently reduced the number of salmon significantly, despite the fact that most factors in the salmon's environment remained unchanged. And with that, this has been 11 Enlightenments. See you next time.